All right, welcome back. It's your host, Delano, on the FanWire podcast. Hey, we in the car again. But hey, we got to get the content out. We got to let y'all know what's the deal. So, we're a little bit behind again. Hey, I think that happens when I'm in the car. But, bear with me. All right, so look. The Indiana Fever took on the Washington Mystics. They played the game all the way up the road in Baltimore and B-more. And we got the dub. We got the victory. So I'm excited to see that we are going in the right trajectory. We got a really good showing from some players. We got some players to come back. We're going to talk about that. All right. So the score of the game was 83-77. And technically, the score should have been more. It should have been a wider margin, right? But it is what it is, right? So let's talk about the Indiana Fever. Then we're going to talk about our Washington Mystics. All right, so Natasha Howard pretty much had a game that I expected, right? I expected her to have around 10 points. So she had 11 points. She also had 6 rebounds. So that's a good output, right? What I did not expect was Aaliyah Boston to only have 10 points. I thought she would have a better game. Because I just assumed that she would be the focal point of the offense. But they didn't have the facilitator in Catlin Clark. So it wasn't as easy as getting those entry passes into the post, right? So, yeah. You also had Kelsey Mitchell with 14 points. I expected her to have probably closer to 18, maybe 20, because I knew she was going to have the green light. But when you shoot them, you got to make them. That's the key. So she shot 4-16. So ended with 14 points. If she made more, she'd have had more. But I attribute that to the defense of our Washington Mystics. Remember that. All right. Now, a lot of people have been saying that DeWanna Bonner is having a fall off year. She ain't doing too well. But I knew that she was going to have a good game. I didn't know she was going to have 19 points, but I knew she was going to have a breakout game, right? Because the offense can more freely flow, and she can have the ball in her hands a little bit more than expected, right? So she ended up with 19 points, 4 rebounds, 2 of 4 from 3-pointers. So it was we kind of knew that was coming. All right. Now let's talk about some things. Let's talk about our Washington Mystics. And then we're going to break down the team performances, right? All right, so the Washington Mystics, we had pretty much almost everybody back except for Georgia Amore, because she's out with an ACL injury, so there's no way she could have came back. But everybody else was back, so I was happy to see what our lineup could be. All right, so we had in the starting lineup, we had pretty much who we expected: Brittany Sykes, Sutton, Sonia Citron, Kiki Irfin, and Stephanie Dawson, right? But we had somebody that previously came back with Aaliyah Edwards in the last game. But in this game, Shakira Austin's back. So we had all of our big women ready to do battle down low, right? And they put on a show. And to talk about Shakira Austin. She was like, everybody else getting a piece of the pie down low, I'm taking mine. So yo, I'm excited to see the DMV's own Shakira Austin out there killing it, doing her thing. She ended up with 13 points off the bench. She had 3 rebounds. She was pretty much unstoppable down low. She's athletic. She done put on some weight, so she's stronger. She gonna be a killer for us. For real. She the enforcer. For real. So yeah, welcome back. Keep doing that. Keep add to it. You dig? It was funny, just speaking about Shakira Austin, listening to the post-game presser, how she was talking about how, you know, B-More is like our cousins up the road. You know, they're not in the DMV. Let's be real. But on a national stage, they are. But how the DMV terminology originated, nah. But hey, we gotta expand the game. So we want the Washington Mystics to expand, get more fans. So be more. Thanks for showing up, showing out for the game. You dig? All right. Kiki Irvin, 16 points with 8 rebounds. So she just missed her double-double. Just missed it by a little bit. But I expect her to get another one. She probably gonna get it against the New York Liberty. We're gonna see what happens. And Sonia Citron, 13 points with 7 rebounds. Oh, one more thing. Brittany Sykes, 9 rebounds. So she almost had a double-double herself. But she almost had a triple-double. A bad one. We'll talk about that. All right, so now let's go ahead and jump into the team stats. All right, so we shot better than the Indiana Fever. We shot 43% compared to the 39%. And 3-pointers, we shot better too, 36% to 23%. They got us with free throws, 22 free throws to our 19 free throws, and they shot a better percentage. Their coach was pretty much like, hey, they're getting disrespected by the refs. They should have more opportunities at shooting free throws and things of that nature. So it was very evenly matched throughout this game, as you can see. All right, and we ended up with more assists and more rebounds. So we pretty much outplayed Indiana. It looked, hey, the score should have been much higher than what it was. Okay, all right, so defensively wise, as a team, they got us with steals and blocks. So they had 9 steals to our 7 and 6 blocks to our 5. Of course, I would like to see Shakira Austin just squat everything. Kiki squat everything. But hey, I'm happy with the production. We can't win everything, but as long as we win the game and we come out the game healthy, that's what we're looking for. All right. The largest lead that we had throughout this game was 12 points. Indiana had their largest lead at 6 points. And this was one of the keys of the game. We had 11 fast break points to their 0. So that means when we got a turnover, we converted it into points. So I love it. Points in the paint. 48-32. What do you expect? We got Kiki. We got Shakira. We got Aaliyah. What do you expect? Hey, it is what it is. I'm going to go on the limb and say right now, we have the 4 best big women in the WNBA on a roster. We can compare it. We can compare it to anybody. Let me know when you're ready. Atlanta's good, but they reserves, I don't think, can handle what our reserves. So collectively, I believe the Washington Mystics have the best group of big women in the game. But we're gonna see, because only the tape can tell. All right. So now this was a problem for us. Turnovers. We had way too many turnovers. Even though we only ended up with one more turnover than Indiana, but it shouldn't have been that close. It shouldn't have been. And then on top of that, Brittany Sykes is a high volume usage player. She always got the ball in her hand, which is a good thing. But in this particular game, she ended up with way too many turnovers. She even alluded to that in the press game conference, in the press game presser, right? So she had, let's see. She ended up with 7 turnovers. That's not good. Gotta do better than that. And I expect her to do better than that. I ain't worried about it. Every game is not going to be peaches and creams. But we're going to see how it goes. We know how it's going to go. They're going to improve. They're going to just keep getting better and better. And then, too, what I love about this team, all of these players are going to be locked up with contracts going into the new CBA for years. So our core is going to be together. While when this new CBA comes in, you know, you're going to have a whole lot more players that's going to be on new teams, figuring things out. While our team is already going to be, already know what we're doing, the path we're going, the direction. Yeah. I'm trying to tell you, these next couple years are going to be all right. I foresee a championship. I do. When? I don't know. I see it, though. But the key is we got to make sure Brittany Sykes come back. She's a key. And then add around it, we got something special in the making. Just because you got a whole bunch of super teams now, a whole bunch of stars, don't make you a team. Don't make you can do it. So, salute to the squad. Salute to Coach Sidney Johnson for building a team and a culture that these players believe in. They appreciate what you're doing. I appreciate what you're doing, Coach. And I know the rest of the Mystic Nation is appreciative as well. All right, so, again, on Wednesday, we beat the Indiana Fever. It was 83-77 without Catlin Clark, but I really don't think that mattered. So, yeah, it is what it is. So, again, this is your host, Delano, on the FanWire podcast. We're going to be right back at you really, really, really soon. And when we shoot, we score over here at the FanWire podcast. Y'all have a good one.